Welcome to Eat Like a Local, a podcast discussing the food and travel guides from CZYK Publishing. Each guide highlights a travel destination through the best places to find great food, as recommended by a local in the area. Now, here's your host, Tom Hess.
Hey, hungry travelers. Welcome back to the Eat Like a Local podcast. We have a great show for you today. We're going to take a visit to New England, and specifically the state of Connecticut, and look at the book Eat Like a Local Connecticut by Angelina Rose Truax. Now, this is the time of year, if you're traveling, a lot of people go to New England this time of year because it's leaf season. And if you're a leaf peeper and headed to Connecticut, you want to be sure to get a copy of this book because you're going to want to know where to eat. And Angelina has some great suggestions for you because she's a local is it a Connecticutan? I don't know what they call them, but she is one. She was born and raised in Connecticut. So she knows what's going on in Connecticut and where you should stop and eat when you're in Connecticut, checking out the leaves or doing anything else that you do in New England this time of year. So let's jump right in. But before we do, I just want to reintroduce myself. My name is Tom. I am a voice artist, media content creator, and specifically, I'm an audiobook narrator and have narrated a lot of Eat Like a Local books for CZYK Publishing, as well as their other book series, 50 Things to Know and Greater Than a Tourist. And you can find all these books available on Amazon, and there'll be some more information on that in the show notes, so you can take a look at this book and all the other books that CZYK Publishing has to offer. So let's dive right in and get to know first a little bit about our author, Angelina Rose Truax. Like I said, she is a native of Connecticut. She enjoys movies, musicals, traveling, and she's also a published poet. She has a book of poetry which she wrote back in 2014 called Poem for My Father, which is a collection of poetry. Aside from that, she also writes about films on the website MXDWN. It's a movie website where she is a featured writer. She currently lives in Connecticut with her husband, her son, and her dog. She grew up in an Italian-American household, and as you could imagine, food was a significant part of that. Her paternal grandmother, her name was Jean. Now, according to Angelina, she wasn't what you would call a great chef. She was a grandmother cook. But the thing that she got from her grandmother was the lesson that people should come together during a meal. Dine as a family, because unfortunately, we lose track of that too much nowadays. Now, on the other hand, her maternal grandmother, Maria, she was a whiz-bang in the kitchen, and she enjoyed watching her grandmother cook. And the thing that she got the most from her grandmother was, prior to when her grandmother passed away, she gave Angela the recipe for donuts and the rolling pin that she used to make them. And Angelina still does that today, making really nice homemade donuts. So let's get into this book. Connecticut it's kind of forgotten. And a lot of times, visitors and actually people that live there take it for granted. Angelina says there's a lot of little hidden places that you can explore. And there's actually a wide variety of food. Angelina's purpose in this book was she wanted to write a love letter to Connecticut because she enjoys everything Connecticut has to offer. So she wanted to explore Connecticut through the food and just highlight everything that Connecticut has to offer. So what is there in Connecticut? If besides leaves, there's a lot to do in Connecticut. Connecticut is the home of Yale University, the Ivy League. It is the home of the Coast Guard Academy And it is the home of renowned American author Mark Twain, which I did not know. I would imagine, like most people, I thought Mark Twain was like a Southerner or a Midwesterner, but he was actually a New Englander. There's always something going on in Connecticut year-round. Obviously, in the fall, you're going to have the leaves, but regardless if it's fall, summer, winter, or spring, there's gorgeous scenery everywhere in Connecticut. It has, if you are like me, I kind of like the history of places. Me personally, I'm from Pennsylvania, so we have a lot of history, whether it be Civil War history, Revolutionary War history, American history, that kind of thing. But you're also going to find a lot of great history in Connecticut. And you can visit a lot of famous places, or they also have, according to Angelina, award-winning theater. So let's talk about when you visit Connecticut, Angelina says there's certain things that you need to, phraseology that you need to learn before going to Connecticut. Now, prior I said, I don't know, the Connecticut's call themselves Connecticuters or Connecticans, but neither. They call themselves Nutmeggers because Connecticut is the Nutmeg State. Connecticut is the Nutmeg State. That's hard to say. So you're going to hear a lot of people, whenever you're asking for suggestions or where to go, Angelina says a lot of people are going to refer you to Mystic. Mystic is a lot of different things. Mystic is a town. There's a town, Mystic, Connecticut. There's also an aquarium, the Mystic Aquarium, or there's also a seaport. So just make sure you know what the person's talking about before you walk away with them. You might have to get them to be a little more clear about what they want you to go do, where they want you to go do, or what they want you to see. Now, when asking for directions, there's, according to Angelina, they're apparently the big things up there are the Merritt, which is the Merritt Parkway, and the Pike, which is the Berlin Turnpike. So there's two there. So we have the Merritt and the Pike. So that's two terms. Now also, if you need to pick up some adult beverages while you're there, people are going to tell you to go to the Packy or the package store, which I've heard package store. I've never heard Packy before. There's no such thing as garage sales in Connecticut. They have tag sales. Now, sandwiches, she says, is a big thing. And like I found anyway, that the term for like a big sandwich varies from region to region in the country. You have subs, hoagies, po' boys, zeps, heroes, but in Connecticut, they call them grinders. The college, UConn, the University of Connecticut, and their mascot is a husky. UConn is also at the heart of the state's medical programs, and because of UConn and how they kind of go together, the husky has been adopted as the mascot for a lot of state government, hospitals, and many other things in Connecticut. They just go husky all over. So now that we got that all out of the way, let's get into the food. There are some famous food places in Connecticut. We all know the movie Mystic Pizza. So I'm in the town of Mystic, or the village of Mystic, you naturally find Mystic Pizza. Now, besides their pizza, you can get Cajun fries or New England clam chowder. They also have, as you can imagine, a big place where you can pick up your Mystic Pizza merchandise to commemorate your visit to the famous movie Pizza Shop. A lot of people these days are traveling with their pets. Angelina says there's a lot of dog-friendly restaurants that you can visit when traveling with your pet in Connecticut. In West Hartford, there's a place called the Elbow Room. They have delicious food and an outdoor seating in the center of the town of West Hartford that if you are a people watcher or a dog watcher, and dogs love watching people and looking at everything in general from my experience. So go to the Elbow Room and get some great food and do some people watching. What to get there? Angelina suggests the lobster mac and cheese or their burgers. Another dog-friendly spot that you might want to go see or go visit is the Pink Basil, also in Mystic. They have sushi, and she says it's the best pad thai you have ever tasted. Not only will you be taken care of, but your man's best friend will be taken care of as well. Her dog was given the royal treatment when she was there. They gave him his own dog bowl with ice and water and a container of chicken. And what dog does not like chicken? I don't know, most of them probably. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, I am not a coffee drinker, but if you are a coffee drinker, as Angelina is a self-proclaimed coffee addict, she goes to a place called the Coffee Trade in Avon. I don't know if it's Avon or Avon. I'm not a nutmegger, so I'm going to say Avon. Pardon me if I am incorrect. In addition to coffee, they also have a little gift shop that sells antiques and kind of unique one-of-a-kind gifts as well. You can get coffee by the cup. You can buy bulk coffee to take home and make. Angelina suggests to get an iced Irish cream coffee. She says it is absolutely life-changing. Almost makes you want to drink coffee. Moving along, if coffee's not your thing, maybe you're more of an adult beverage type of person, which I certainly am not going to say no to a good drink. You can go to the Tisan Euro Asian Cafe in Hartford if you are looking for a unique and delicious cocktail. Angelina says she gets something called an Espresso Martini. That's martini spelled M-A-R-T-E-A. It has espresso, vanilla vodka, and some nutty chocolate liqueurs in it. It sounds really good. They also have something called the Naughty Girl Scout, which is kind of like the Girl Scout cookie, the Thin Mint, but she says it's like a creamy Thin Mint in a glass with a spanking. And if you need something to eat while you're there, you can have some barbecued pork spring rolls or the buffalo chicken sandwich are two of the things that Angelina suggests. Now, if you want a little adult kick and you want to just go straight from 0 to 60, get some moonshine, particularly full moonshine. Angelina says there's a place called Hickory Ledges Farm in Canton, which produces and sells and distributes, full moonshine. They also sell hand sanitizer, which actually a lot of other distillers are producing these days, as well as other merchandise. Angelina likes particularly the apple pie moonshine and the cranberry because she says they're just delicious. But if she's making cocktails, she gets the Pete's Maple 80 or the Circa 1797. There are full moonshine places across Connecticut. They have 2 locations in Manhattan and, of course, online. What about beer? If liquor is not your thing, maybe you're a beer person. So where to go for beer in Connecticut? Even though it's small, Connecticut has a lot of breweries. The one that Angelina goes to the most is a place called Brewery Legitimacy in New Hartford. They have a tap room, an outdoor beer garden, and a rotating schedule of food trucks, which food trucks are all the rage these days, and it's nice when these places bring in other vendors to kind of get them going, boost their own business. So go to the Brewery Legitimacy and see what they have going on. Angelina usually gets the Satan's Kingdom Belgian Strong Golden Ale. Now there's a recreation place down the road called Satan's Kingdom, so I guess that's where the name comes from. So go visit that. That sounds like a pretty cool place to me. So let's talk food. We got stuff to drink. We got coffee, beer, cocktails, moonshine. How about a good old burger? Did you know that Connecticut is the birthplace of the hamburger? I think I saw that once. Is that the place? I saw it on a TV show once, but I'm not sure if the place that I'm thinking about is in Connecticut. So go to Max Burger in West Hartford. There are burgers there that Angelina loves. One is the maple whiskey and the other is the Texican. Now, most of the burgers are 8 ounce, except for the classics and the turkey burgers. She also says, if you need a side with it, she strongly suggests the truffle fries or the bacon and Brussels sprouts. Now, that sounds good to me. I like a good burger. You guys like burgers? So, how about Burger Kicked Up? And what is Burger Kicked Up is a good steak. Now, there's chains, like obviously you can go to any kind of a chain place that you want. But if you want a good steak, if you're around the Hartford area, go to Ted's Montana Grill. When you walk into Ted's, you're going to feel like you're in a classic saloon from the 19th century. And the cool thing about Ted's is not only they sell steak, but what they're known for is their American bison, which they sell more bison than any other restaurant in the world, according to Angelina. What they do is they are a very sustainably conscious restaurant, which is cool because especially nowadays, you never know what's going on. We have to kind of keep things going. So what they do is they don't make bulk orders with their vendors. They order small batches throughout the day, and they don't waste it. They use it all, and they get from locals as much as possible, and they even keep their non-food items sustainable by using things they use, paper straws and borax soap. So that's really a cool thing to do, and you should really kind of, if you're in the area, patronize Ted's because they're doing it the right way, in my opinion. Now, obviously, going to New England, you're thinking about lobster. And when I think about lobster and I think about New England, I think about lobster rolls. Now, Angelina says the best lobster roll in Connecticut is from a place called the Lobster Landing in Clinton. And not only does she say it's the best lobster roll in Connecticut, she says it's the best lobster roll in New England, which is high praise if you're asking me. But in addition to the lobster rolls, if that's not your bag, you can they have sausages, salads, and hot dogs. Go there, sit outside, enjoy your lobster roll, maybe some clam chowder. Hang out, go look at the sunset over the water, and just have a real good time. I don't think that sounds like a safe bet to me, and if you like lobster rolls, you won't be disappointed there. Now, another staple food product that everybody has and everybody wants to know who's got the best is pizza. We already touched on it earlier, Mystic Pizza. But according to Angelina, Mystic Pizza is not the best pizza in Connecticut. That honor goes to E&D Pizza Company in Avon. They've been there since 2014, and it was opened as a tribute to the owner's sons. I guess E&D were the owner's sons. That's nice. She goes there with her son because that's kind of like their thing to do. That, they have all the standards: pepperoni, onions, garlic. You can get wings or some garlic knots. Angelina says the Caesar salad is fantastic. And not only can you get regular pizza, you can get a dessert pizza. But if you do, order your dessert pizza when you start eating, because she says it takes a little while to make. It's a dessert pie they make with Nutella, berries, seasonal fruit, and powdered sugar. That sounds really good. So let's move along to like simple food. And this is my bread and butter right here, and that's pub food, good old bar food. And I guess she's speaking my language because she goes with her mom. They love pub food and unique places to eat. And in West Hartford is a place called the Corner Pug, which is, she says, it's both. It's unique and it has great food. Some things to try there are either the shepherd's pie or the Yankee pot roast. They are Angelina's go-tos. So for the burger lovers, you can try the Irish nacho burger, which she says has the perfect amount of heat. And for some dessert, for the sweet tooth in you, try the apple pie tacos or the creme brulee. How about some tacos? Tacos and tequila are two things that Angelina enjoys, and the place she goes is the Ocho Cafe in West Hartford. She went there with her husband. She said she had a really good time. Not only are the tacos the best, she says they have the best mole sauce. I don't know if you are into food, I guess you're into food because you're listening to me right now. But if you're into cooking food, mole can be a little complicated. So if they're nailing the mole sauce, they got something going on. You can also get a custom ordered margarita. So you get to pick from over 60 tequilas, a mixer, and seasonings. So do the math. That's probably a lot of combinations that you can get. And for dessert, she says get the flan or the tres leches cake, which is 3 milks or 3 creams if you do not habla. Now, not only does Connecticut have great food, great places to go, great things to eat, Connecticut, like any other place in the country, has good times and things to do for everyone. I'm going to touch on a few of them. Specifically, let's talk about some festivals. This time of year, she says, Angelina tells us, there are festivals, fairs, and carnivals all throughout the fall. The Taco Festival, she says, it's her favorite time of year. Now, she does not say when that is, but I'm sure if you go online, you could find it if you're into tacos as much as Angelina is. I'm guessing it's in the fall because she says, fall is festival time in Connecticut, but specifically when it is, I'm not sure. So during this festival, one of the cool things is you get to vote and help decide on who has Connecticut's top taco. They also have Lucha Libre Wrestling, taco eating contests, a photo booth. They have multiple food trucks and classic car festivals in many towns. So besides festivals, there's fairs. New England being a conglomeration of a lot of smaller states, each state does not have their own state fair. Instead, they all come together and they have the New England Fair, or the Big E, which is a 6-state agricultural fair. Now, what are the 6 states? I do not know, but let's see. Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. That would be my guess of the 6 states. So it's located right over the border of Connecticut in Massachusetts. And realistically, she says, to explore everything of the Big E Fair, you have to plan on more than one day. So if you're visiting Connecticut at the right time of the year, swing over to Massachusetts and check out the Big E. As with any fair, you can imagine they have a variety of food, whether it's smoked, fried, baked goods. I'm sure there's something for everyone. And not only that, they have 3 different concert venues to listen to some great music. Now, in Connecticut, there's a quick little section in the book where Angelina talks about food with a conscience. And I wanted to highlight this because I think it's kind of cool. She says she likes to go to these places because they really think about their patrons and what to offer for everybody. Whether you have allergens, you don't like GMOs, or you want to support a worthy cause, there's a restaurant that you can go to for all that. Now, when we talked about the steakhouses, one of those places is Ted's Montana Grill, or a place called the J. Foster Ice Cream. So if you have particular diet restrictions or just want to eat, more wisely, go to one of those places and see what they have to offer. There's a place in New Preston, which is called the White Horse Country Pub and Restaurant. Now I'm sure they have regular food, but Angelina says they have a whole separate menu for vegans, gluten-free, and vegetarian, what's called plow-to-plate items. Now, what the plow-to-plate is, it advocates healthy and good food, promoting local agricultural economy and disease prevention. Now, what is a good time eating good food, going different places? What else can you do there? There is a good music and art scene in Connecticut, and specifically one place that she recommends is Lucky Lou's in Wethersfield. It's a place that you just have good food, enjoy some live music. So if you're going there, maybe you want to get some of their rosemary chicken lollipops or some of the super chili nachos and wash it down like she does with some Knob Creek bourbon straight. So how about that? That's just a quick little cruise through Connecticut. If you're going to Connecticut, you need some things to eat. Take a look at this book. I mean, I just barely touched the surface of all the great places Connecticut has to offer to eat, all kinds of different foods. If you're going to Connecticut, I strongly suggest getting Eat Like a Local Connecticut by Angelina Rose Truax. You can find it on Amazon. There are regular books, there's ebooks, there's audiobooks, something for everybody, whatever suits your style. I'll leave you a link if you want to check it out. If you want to help out the program, I'll leave you a way to do that as well. We'd appreciate that. But really, I just want you to support the Eat Like a Local writers. It's their hometown. They know what they're talking about. It's their area. Take their advice. If you're not sure where to go when you're traveling, Eat Like a Local is a great resource for you. Tells you about the area you're going to and what you can do to have a great time, see some great things, and more importantly, have some great food when you're traveling. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Eat Like a Local Connecticut Food Guide by Angelina Rose Truax. My name is Tom. On behalf of myself and our publisher, Lisa Ruszczyk, thanks for tuning in today. Listen to our program. I hope you subscribe to the Eat Like a Local podcast, available on all your podcast platforms. So make sure you mark it so when a new book comes out, a new podcast highlighting another great travel food destination, you can listen and maybe help you plan your next travel and food adventure. So until then, take care, happy travels, and happy eating.
Thanks for listening to Eat Like a Local from CZYK Publishing with your host, Tom Hess. We hope you enjoyed our look at this book to help you plan your next food and travel adventure. If you want more ideas about food and travel across the country and around the world, join us for our next episode. You can always find out more about all our travel books by visiting CZYKpublishing.com, as well as check out all the links and resources in the show notes. That's all for this episode. See you next time.